Few things are more American than the crisp, satisfying hiss of a Coca-Cola can cracking open on a hot summer day. It's a sound that instantly evokes memories of backyard barbecues, family picnics, and long afternoons spent with friends under the sun. For generations, that simple act, reaching for an ice-cold Coke, has been a small but meaningful ritual, woven into the fabric of American life. That unmistakable red and white can is more than just a beverage, it's a cultural icon, a symbol of comfort, nostalgia, and togetherness. From classic advertisements to its presence at every major celebration, Coca-Cola has become a thread running through the American story, instantly recognizable and deeply cherished. But imagine walking into your local grocery store and finding that familiar can missing from the shelves. It's a scenario that once seemed unthinkable, but now it's a real possibility. The idea of Coca-Cola vanishing from our daily lives is unsettling, raising questions about what we take for granted. This isn't just a distant worry. A newly imposed, steep tariff on imported aluminum is sending shockwaves through the beverage industry, threatening the very foundation of how drinks like Coca-Cola are made and delivered. Every year, billions of cans are produced, and aluminum is at the heart of that process. With the cost of this essential material suddenly skyrocketing, Coca-Cola and other beverage companies are being forced to make difficult decisions that could change the way we experience our favorite drinks. This issue goes far beyond soda. It's a story about the complex web of global supply chains, the challenges of domestic manufacturing, and the tough choices that determine what ends up in your fridge. The ripple effects touch everyone, from factory workers to families at the dinner table. For decades, companies have depended on affordable, imported aluminum to keep costs down and shelves stocked. This system has allowed American consumers to enjoy their favorite products at reasonable prices, almost without thinking about the journey each can take. Now, that sense of stability has been shattered. Factories face uncertainty, workers worry about their jobs, and the entire industry is bracing for change. The new tariff is forcing companies to re-examine every aspect of their business, from sourcing materials to pricing products. Even the classic Coke can, a staple of American life, is under threat as executives weigh their options in boardrooms across the country. The fate of this beloved icon is more than just a business story. It's a glimpse into the economic pressures that could soon affect us all. As costs rise and choices become tougher, the story of the Coca-Cola can become a symbol of the challenges facing American consumers and industries alike. The disruption comes suddenly, catching many by surprise. In factories across the country, production lines grind to a halt, and workers exchange worried glances. The cause: a sweeping new policy that will reshape the way American businesses operate. The government has imposed a 50% tariff on imported aluminum, instantly making this essential metal much more expensive for anyone who relies on it. Shipments that once flowed freely are now delayed at ports, as customs officials review the new rules and paperwork piles up. The stated goal is clear: protect American jobs, support local industries, and breathe new life into domestic aluminum production. It's a move designed to encourage investment in American factories and bring back manufacturing jobs that have been lost over the years. But the reality on the ground is far more complicated. The United States simply doesn't produce enough aluminum to meet the massive demand from manufacturers, beverage companies, and countless other industries. Warehouses that once held ample supplies now sit nearly empty, and workers scramble to stretch what little stock remains. For decades, globalization shifted aluminum production overseas, where costs were lower and output was higher. American industries became deeply reliant on these imports, building entire supply chains around the steady flow of foreign aluminum. Now, with the new tariff in place, companies are forced to pay a hefty tax on every ton of imported aluminum. This sudden increase in costs ripples through the economy, affecting everyone from small business owners to large manufacturers. Accountants scramble to recalculate budgets, and business owners worry about how to absorb the extra expense. Domestic supplies simply can't fill the gap, so prices rise across the board. Consumers see it first in the form of higher prices on everyday goods like soda cans and packaged foods. Manufacturers face tough choices: raise prices, cut costs, or risk going out of business. The tariff, intended to help American producers, ends up hurting American buyers. Frustration grows among consumers and business owners alike, as they struggle to keep up with the rising costs and shrinking profit margins. Instead of acting as a protective shield, the policy feels more like a cage, trapping industries, squeezing profits, and limiting options for growth. The very people it was meant to help now find themselves facing new obstacles. Rather than just penalizing foreign competitors, the tariff has become a widespread tax on American manufacturing itself, threatening jobs, innovation, and the future of entire industries. Coca-Cola faces tough choices as aluminum costs soar. Absorbing the cost would slash billions from profits, unsustainable long-term. Switching to domestic aluminum isn't feasible, supply is too limited and expensive. The third option, ditch aluminum cans for plastic bottles. Plastic is cheaper and avoids the tariff but comes with environmental and brand risks. Aluminum cans are infinitely recyclable. Plastic is not. A shift to plastic could spark backlash from environmentally conscious consumers. Coca-Cola's brand and sustainability promises are on the line. Each option has major drawbacks, leaving the company in a true dilemma. The future of the Coke can, and the company's reputation, hangs in the balance. Coca-Cola's challenge is just the beginning. The aluminum tariff ripples through the entire U.S. economy. Car makers rely on aluminum for lighter, more efficient vehicles. Now production costs rise. Construction costs climb as aluminum prices soar, making homes and repairs less affordable. Everyday items, appliances, cookware, even foil get more expensive. The tariff adds a hidden tax to basic necessities. Green energy is hit too. Solar panels and wind turbines depend on aluminum, so clean energy projects become pricier. The policy meant to protect one industry ends up raising costs everywhere. The impact is broad, touching nearly every American household. If beverage companies switch from aluminum cans to plastic bottles, the environment pays the price. Aluminum cans are endlessly recyclable and energy efficient to produce. Plastic bottles, while technically recyclable, rarely are. Most end up in landfills or oceans. Plastic degrades with each recycling, eventually becoming waste. A shift to plastic would worsen pollution and harm ecosystems. Companies would face backlash for abandoning sustainability promises. Environmentally conscious consumers could turn away, damaging brands. The cheapest solution isn't always the smartest or the most responsible. Short-term savings could mean long-term environmental costs for everyone. The U.S. aluminum tariff sparks global backlash. Key trading partners retaliate with their own tariffs on American goods. This tit-for-tat escalation risks a trade war, hurting unrelated U.S. industries like agriculture and manufacturing. American exporters lose access to foreign markets and costs rise for companies relying on imported parts. Trade wars disrupt supply chains, create uncertainty, and slow economic growth. The initial tariff, meant to protect one sector, ends up harming many others. Economic decisions like this never happen in isolation. They trigger global chain reactions. The result instability and pain across the broader economy. When we talk about government policies, it can feel distant. Something that happens in Washington, far removed from our daily lives. But the truth is, these policies hit you where it matters most, your wallet. Every time you shop for groceries, fill up your car, or pay for home repairs, you're feeling the ripple effects of decisions made by policymakers. Take aluminum, for example. Higher aluminum costs don't just mean pricier soda cans, they also drive up the cost of cars, appliances, and even the foil you use in your kitchen. When the price of this essential material rises, it trickles down to nearly every aisle in the store, making everyday items more expensive for everyone. The aluminum tariff acts as a regressive tax, squeezing lower and middle-income families the hardest. For many, it means making tough choices at the checkout line, deciding what to put back or how to stretch each dollar a little further. It's not just a number on a receipt, it's a real impact on family budgets and quality of life. What started as a move to protect American jobs and industries now raises the cost of living for everyone. The intention may have been to support local manufacturing, but the reality is that consumers across the country are paying more for basic goods. Policymakers now face a difficult choice: stick with the tariff and hope for long-term gains in domestic production, or reconsider as consumer costs continue to rise and public frustration grows. The debate is ongoing and the stakes are high for both businesses and families. Major companies like Coca-Cola are watching closely, adjusting their strategies and prices in response to these changes. Their decisions don't just affect their bottom line, they shape what you see on store shelves and ultimately what you pay at the register. Economic policy isn't just for Washington or Wall Street, it affects us all every single day. Whether you're a student, a parent, or a retiree, these decisions shape the cost of living and the opportunities available to you. The journey of a simple can of soda, from raw aluminum to your refrigerator, shows just how interconnected our world is. Each step along the way is influenced by global trade, manufacturing costs, and government policy. The aluminum tariff has disrupted that journey, reminding us that trade decisions have real, everyday consequences. Workers, businesses, and consumers all feel the impact, whether it's in lost jobs, higher prices, or shifting supply chains. Understanding these forces is key to navigating the future of the American economy. By staying informed, we can better prepare for changes ahead and make choices that protect our wallets and our communities.